a company can price something at 5 cedis, okay, and the customers they are targeting might see it as expensive.
Yeah.
That same product, that same industry, different group of customers might see it to be cheap. Now, as you said, you need the leaders of these fields, these expertise in these fields to help you in pricing.
Yeah, I think in every space, right, there are leaders there in every space.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can't go to a hospital and go and do the job of the doctor because you think you know one or two terms. Pricing is the, let's say, the voltage of your business, right? You can be running all right, and then for a stretch, or let's say within some particular time frame, and everything will be fine. But meanwhile, the cables might be heating up.
Yeah.
Within all these periods,
Yeah.
they might be heating up, and before you realize it, the cables are melting.
That's why when you don't adjust to costs,
we should know, or your customers should know why you are increasing your price. There should be a value addition. You don't keep the same products, the same systems running, and you increase the price.
Yes.
Hello, family. You are welcome to yet another episode of The Business Doctors, where we listen to quiet symptoms and heal what success keeps silent. And as usual, my name is Paakodie, and I'm here with
Michael Parry. Today we are looking at a silent symptom of a lot of businesses, which has to do with poor pricing.
Oh.
Yeah, it has to do with poor pricing.
I'm very much interested.
Very interested. You should be, because there's a lot of examples around us each and every day. Businesses suffering on sales and a whole lot as a result of poor pricing. Okay, so what do you think can cause poor pricing among certain businesses?
I think we can look at this in a number of ways, right? Whether overpricing your stuff or underpricing them. Let me speak a little bit about underpricing.
Okay.
I think when people look at the market, they tend to check the prices of their competitors and decide to go below belt. Yes. The fact that you are going below belt doesn't mean you are going to make the sales. Yes, you can be below belt and still suffer. Yeah.
That would be like a double suffering. Double suffering.
Double suffering. You're killing yourself. One of the problems with that is, as humans, typically of us, we see value and we know value when we see one.
Yeah.
Yes. And stuff that are underpriced, but tend to project themselves as offering us value, we know won't do us any good. Yes. And in that effect, when you underprice your stuff, you are losing a lot of customers. Yes. Yeah. Because they don't see the value compared to the money you are taking them. Yeah.
And I think what you said with businesses bringing down their prices after doing their market research and looking at their competitors' price, bringing theirs down just to get away. Probably if it's a startup, they are finding a way to penetrate
to make more sales.
I think making the decision based on the fact that you are trying to have a lower price than your competitors, that one is wrong in the first place. But from the other angle, I'm also looking at it from, okay, what if you've done the necessary things before trying to bring it down? You know, there are some businesses who will do the market research, try to bring their prices down. But there should be a limit. Make sure you don't go below a certain line.
Yeah,
that is where the problem is.
That's the whole point.
When you go beyond that line, you and I know the line I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When you go beyond that line, that is where the problem is. Okay?
Yeah.
And that line, we can explain it to you better when you engage us on the consultancy service one-on-one.
You can't speak everything.
But you don't have to go below that line.
Yeah.
If you are going below that line, then you are getting the double suffering we're talking about. Yes. So underpricing is a very key. That is in terms of you bringing it down because of your competitors. Now, from the customer's point of view, as you said earlier on, are you providing value, or you are just underpricing it for us?
Just to get them off the mark.
Yes. So it depends on the commodity or the service you are dealing in. There are certain services that are not really, how do I put it? Customers are not really moved by the quality of those kind of products. They just care about the quantity.
The quantity.
So if you are operating in such market, maybe underpricing might help you.
You might survive.
Yes, but the key principles to hold: don't go beyond that line.
Go beyond. Yeah.
Sorry to say, even if it's pure water you are selling or chalk, and you still go beyond that line. Ever heard of this? I know it's a funny saying people do say. Yeah, they do say. There are some people, if you hand them every business, they'll run into a loss.
Yeah.
To the extent that we give them water to boil and sell hot water, they still run into a loss. that is what is going to happen to you if you just drop down your price. And I have a real time experience which I was telling you off camera before the call. I was telling you with a certain company where they put out flyers running a promotional price, not because internally they've done their calculation and realized that this is going to help us, but because a competitor is also running a promo at that same price. They pick the same price for their product. Now you don't know that person's production costs. You don't know their labor costs, the overheads that goes into it. You don't even know where they are sourcing their raw materials from. Whether they are getting it in the country, whether they are importing. Maybe you are also importing yours, you are paying duties and all that. So if you try to match this business boot for boot, trust me, you go down.
You don't even know what led them to
make that
decision to price it at that point. Yes. And then the fact that you are being fast about that and then countering their prices and all that doesn't mean you are going to make sales.
No.
The fastest person most often don't win the race.
Yeah.
It's the person who started first. Yes. So the fact that you're matching up their pricing doesn't mean you're going to make sales like they are also doing.
With this pricing, Paakodie, so do you believe, or have a view on the fact that pricing shouldn't just be left for anyone to do in a company, but for certain people or certain expertise or professionals in the company or business are the ones supposed to be left to deal with pricing issues for the company? What do you think about that one?
I think in every space, right, there are leaders there in every space.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can't go to a hospital and go and do the job of the doctor because you think you know one or two terms. You get it. So in every field,
paracetamol to cure headaches.
To cure headaches. Yes, because you know pain is a painkiller.
Yeah, doctor.
Yes, but there might be something hidden that you might not be aware of.
Sure.
So there are leaders, or there's leadership in every aspect of whatever we do. You get it. And then these leaders see more than you, and they know more than you know. So the best thing is to move to the right people.
Okay.
Yes, you might have one or two ideas, but it won't take you far.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, talking about moving to the right people, it leads me to this other problem, other causes of poor pricing. Now, earlier on, we're talking about underpricing based on competitors' price. Now, there's another angle where these problems can stem from again. That is from the customer's point of view. There's the value you are giving the customer. Now, if you are not careful about that, an item of 2 cedis for one company.
Sometimes my reactions to you for switch to nobody say
so.
Sometimes I just mix yours and it's so come reactions already sell.
Okay. So with that, the value you provide and the customers relating to their poor pricing issue.
You got.
Let me do. We do enough. Okay, so that leads me to another cause of poor pricing in businesses. And this time I want to look at it from the angle of the value you are providing and the customers receiving it. Now, in this situation, a company can price something at 5 cedis, and customers the customers they are targeting might see it as expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
That same product, that same industry, different group of customers might see it to be cheap. Now, as you said, you need the leaders of these fields, these expertise in these fields to help you in pricing.
Yeah.
So when you have these people on board, this example I gave, you realize that it's not really a big issue.
Yeah.
It stems from one of the things we discussed in the first episode, you defining your target audience.
Market, yeah.
If your target market understands you and you know what you are providing, your price may look higher than your competitors, but you still be the ultimate choice.
Yes, that's so true.
If you don't have your target audience right, you might follow the rhythm of your competitors to drop your pricing, and they will not come to you. They will still come to you.
That's true.
You get it? So it's some services and products are more of the value you are providing. And to whom are you providing that value? To whom are you providing that value? Now, to no disrespect, but let's say to my granny in the house, if I get my granny the latest iPhone, the 17 Pro or Pro Max or whatever, the most important thing to her is to receive calls and make calls. That's
the value proposition doesn't matter to them.
So if you get her a phone that costs 15,000 Ghana, 20,000 Ghana, she don't mind. Once it can make a phone call and receive calls, she's okay. Now, if you're trying to sell to such a person and you're quoting this price, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
But that same phone to a different class of people, someone who is probably into content creation, a student who does a lot more of shooting videos, doing research and all that. Now you send that person the keypad phone, which we normally call as part of the world as the YAM.
The YAM phone.
And you put the iPhone there. That person will make sure they pay whatever it takes to get the other one.
Yeah.
Because the sophisticated one can help her do research on the internet, browse the internet, do social media with the friends, chat people online, take pictures, shoot content. But the other one, the YAM, will not. So in that instance, the price is not really being a key factor here.
Yeah.
It's about the value they are getting. So if you are not able to identify your customers clearly and you be like, okay, we are all into the mobile phone industry. These people are selling their phone for 200 cedis. Now let me drop my prices. You've gone for iPhone, Apple product in your stock, and you want to reduce it to 200 cedis because your competitor, who is the next shop to you, is selling other phones for 200 cedis. Then you'll be in a big problem.
Yeah.
You'll be in a big problem. So I think, as I put the question to you earlier in your submission, that we should let the experts and the leaders in certain fields do their work. I side with you 100%. Because if they are doing their work, some of these problems will be eradicated and will never lead to the poor pricing issues we are having in this country. And it's bringing a lot of businesses down. Sometimes they are doing everything right in terms of value provision. They are providing the best of value, the best of service. People are still not coming for their goods because of poor pricing.
Yeah. That's so true. And then poor pricing, I think it affects the business so much. It affects it so much because let's take it as pricing is the, let's say, the voltage of your business, right? You can be running all right, and then for a stretch, or let's say within some particular time frame, and everything will be fine. But meanwhile, the cables might be heating up.
Yeah.
Within all these periods, they might be heating up, and before you realize it, the cables are melting.
That's why when you don't adjust to costs, right? Let's say right now we are selling our product A for 10 cedis, and as at that point we did our costing and everything, and we are making a profit margin of 6 cedis per sale of an item. Times have changed. Bills, tariffs have now gone up.
Yeah.
Utility in terms of water it has shoot up a bit. Products on the market, the raw materials have shoot up a bit. Now, if you don't factor those changes in adjusting your price to the current one, you might still be selling at 10 cedis, and be expecting to make a profit of 6. You can't be making that profit of 6 anymore. That's what when you said you talked about the cables heating up and you not being aware of it. Because you've been selling it for 10 cedis for 2 years and you're making profit, does not mean in 2026 or 2027 selling at 10 cedis. You need to do evaluation from time to time.
That's the actual point.
Time to time.
Evaluation.
And even if raw materials and your cost of production is not really going up, you might have added 1 or 2 additional employees along the line. They all come with extra costs. So you need to factor all those things. Even if you are going to share the entire cost on it, probably a margin of it to absorb some of it for you. Else you might be running into debt and you never realize. You feel like, my business is always selling. People are buying. Why is it I'm still unable to go in for a lot of raw materials to do production now? Why am I unable to pay salaries of workers? You might be thinking someone is stealing your money at your workplace, but the problem might be from a managerial point of view.
The whole system.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes to cater for the problems, like what you just mentioned, not being able to pay your workers and all of that, you can increase your price, right? But we should know, or your customers should know why you are increasing your prices. There should be a value addition. You don't keep the same products, the same systems running, and you increase the pricing.
Yes,
it will make you lose a lot of customers. Yeah.
And I think one trick in doing this is, we'll discuss in another episode.
Yeah, I think so.
It's where you utilize your marketing department well.
Very, very key.
That's when they come in. So everything is like a chain. Now you set the price, if from your point of view, the price is justifiable. Now, psychologically, how do you tune the minds of your old customers to the realization or coming into the point of agreement with you that now the same product they've been buying for 2 years is selling for this amount without any additional quantity added to it? Because this part of our world, whenever there is a price increase, we are probably looking for an increase in quantity more than the value. So now your marketing department needs to work on this, the marketing material. So you need to launch a campaign. And some other things which I'm not going to tell you now.
I think we'll keep that to ourselves.
Yes. I'm not going to tell you now, but the total and short of it all is getting the right price or trying to price well is solving one part of the problem. Getting your consumers to understand the reason why you've increased your price is another part of that needs solution.
And then one thing too for the startups, right? When you are running a marathon, you don't start by running so fast.
No.
I mean, yes. So most often, or most of the startups will rush into getting customers which are not even supposed to be their customers.
That's a very big problem.
Yes. And at the end of the marathon, they will be left alone because all of them will sway off along the way. Yes. So you don't rush to speed up at the beginning of the marathon.
No.
You take it slowly. Definitely it might be slow, but it will be sure that you still get the customers that are due you. Yeah.
So in marketing, we have these when I'm mapping up my strategies for marketing campaigns, there is this group of people I do classify that they're discount lovers. I don't see a discount lovers as my key customers. I just use them to curb a short-term problem. Probably looking forward to raise a lot of increased revenue within a certain period of time to cure a certain issue, which I'm not expecting from my core customers at that very particular time. So those people are seen as my contingency plan. Because the moment they hear a promo discount, wherever they are, they flee in. And I know you are going to get them. Yes, they flee in, they give you that money at that time, you solve it, you move on. Don't stick to that. Don't stick to that for me. Because now if I'm giving 10% today, someone can give 20% tomorrow. Trust me, those people, they'll go to the 20%. They're discount lovers, they are never loyal. They are never loyal. So you need to be able to identify all this and know. So I think I'm about delving more into marketing. Let me take it. So because of my marketing background, I was just about to say something which I realized it's more of marketing, but I know we will get there one day then.
The more of the technical stuff.
Yes,
You
yes.
see us behind doors, we'll talk about
We'll talk about those ones. We'll talk about those ones. But I think no business should compromise on the poor pricing issue of underpricing, overpricing, not making adjustment to your prices when cost and other stuffs of production are changing. Not considering the value you are putting out there and the kind of people you are giving the value to. I think if you consider all these things and you get an expert to evaluate these with your previous data for you, they can help you make an informed decision going forward, so that you can curb a lot of problems and stop blaming your staff. The innocent staff at the counter that they've been stealing your money. No, they are not the ones stealing your money. You are not making the proper adjustments in terms of the proper pricing. So you never make your money. You sell products, but you never make your money. Yeah.
Okay, so I think there's so much value you are putting out there.
Yeah.
Yes. We should be charging a lot for this thing, but I mean, Charlie, we don't mind sharing the little we also.
Yeah. We need to enlighten them a bit about what's going on. If people want to know deeper and find solutions, we are always available to assist you.
Yeah, that's very true. So once again, thank you for sticking with us, and don't forget your business might still be running, but it might be heating up and it will end up melting at the long run. Seek like professional help and then you'll be fine. So this has been another episode of The Business Doctors, and we'll meet you in the next one. Yeah.